Hey guys, it's Mesha with my Simple Shared Monday video, and I don't know how simple this is going to be for some of you, but this was a request by someone who wanted to see how to make a simple arrangement, floral arrangement. So that's what I'm doing. All the stuff that I'm using I got from the dollar store, so the Dollar Tree. So this tin came from the Dollar Tree. There is some foam that I cut, and this is craft foam, and you can use it for, usually you'll find it in green for the floral foam. There's also stuff called the Oasis, which you wet for fresh plants. But this is designer craft foam, and I got this at the Goodwill. And I got some Spanish moss. Now the foam is in there, and I cut it to fit inside my little, and you can probably see it there. Okay, so I cut it to fit in there. Now you use the moss, Spanish moss, sheet moss, anything like that, to cover up your workings of what's in there. And this is a U-pin. See that? It's actually shaped like a U. And these you can find in the florist section. I found these at Michael's. You just stick them in to hold the moss down. You can also use, these are flathead pins that you can use, but they don't work as nicely because they're not as long as a U-pin. There's also T-pins, and I had a bunch of those, but unfortunately, when you have a 6-year-old who is curious about everything, it ends up anywhere but where it's supposed to be. So, okay, so I have the foam, the moss, the container I'm using. You can, whatever container you want to use, you can use. You need wire cutters. You need some hot glue and the glue gun. And then you need your flowers. And I'm using these orangey Gerber daisies. And I'm using these white daisies. And I'm using, for my greens, I'm using this ivy. So what you will do with the ivy is, now I'm going to make my arrangement symmetrical. Symmetrical meaning it's going to be the same on 3 sides. The back is not going to have anything in it. And as I do this, I'm going to have to do it from facing me, and then I'll turn it around to show you. But you need the wire cutters because you need to cut your greens off your stalk. So I cut them off, and then I want to see how big or not big, tall I want it. So, okay, this is going to be my back, and we're going to make it like a triangle. That's symmetrical, or round, or whatever shape you're looking for. Asymmetrical would be smaller on one side, or shorter on one side and longer on the other. Well, we aren't going to do that. Now you would use the glue at spots where your flowers are going in. You would put the glue on your stalk, and then you would put it into your arrangement. Well, at this point, I don't need the glue. So we are building our symmetrical, I don't know if you can see that, our symmetrical form here with our greens first. And then you need to decide on your focal point, what flower and where you want your focal point to be. And for a minute, I'm going to turn it facing me so I can see how short or long to make this stem here. And then you push it in. And then this is where you'll probably want the glue, because you'll want it so that, so this is going to be my center, my focal point, this flower. So you'll want it so that the glue holds your flower, your plants in to the arrangement. Next, you're going to do your side flowers over here, or your top. It depends on you, you know, how you want your, I'll turn it around in a second and I'll show you how you want to do your flowers. So next we're going to do the top flower, the height. Now this is the flower that brings in the height. So you're going to want it pretty tall, but so far it looks like a mess, but you have your flowers. Okay. It's going to start looking better after we fill in with our filler flowers here. And let me cut this here. So now, okay, so now you see, here's your top, your focal. You want to go in between those flowers with your next color, your next type of flower. And since I'm doing a basic arrangement, I will show you what I mean in a second here, but it's pretty simple to do if you know the symmetrical and asymmetrical is where you want to start when you work with. They're the easiest, I should say, to work with. Okay, so that you can fill in where it's needed. And because there's 4 orange flowers, and I always like to do odd numbers, we are going to do 5 of them, and I will show you that in a second. And then we fill in. It's simple, very simple. And I didn't need to use any glue on so far, and that is because these plastic stems and the type of what am I trying to say here? Oh, the type of design flowers that I'm using are pretty stiff, so you don't really need to use a lot of glue, and I actually haven't really used any, but I have it if I need it. So okay, we're almost done here, and it comes together that fast. And you can add a bow to it, and you can, you know, add some extra greens if you would like. But I will pan out to show you what it looks like finished. And having a problem here. Hold on a second. Oops, I pulled apart my flower. But it's alright, we can put it back together. I bought everything at the dollar store, if I didn't tell you that already, and everything that I bought cost me $6. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really, you can find some good stuff there. It's really good to, you know, try your hand at new things, and if you can get them for an inexpensive price, then have at it, go for it. And I will show you this in 1 second because it's pretty much finished, but I want to add this green in here, and then we will be done.